the transition, like how does your mind shift that way and why?
I think the hardest thing is you guys are all detail-oriented people. Like coach holds you to, high standard. You're football players, man. You're cut a little bit different. I mean, it just is what it is. And when you get away from the field, I think you'll find this out. And I'm not trying to say we're better or worse than people. I think in a lot of ways we're a little rough around the edges. But there's, in some ways, man, the way I could depend on a teammate, I just can't depend on some people that didn't play the game in a setting. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say, we need to bust our ass to get this thing done, like, I'm saying it in my standard. And then you get out into the business world, and sometimes people are like, yeah, but, like, by Friday? Like, we got to work late? Do we have to work? Like, I'm a workaholic. I'm a grinder. That's how a lot of y'all are. And that is just, and so I think a lot of it is adjusting your standards to the setting that you're going to enter, because the world is way different than the locker room, man. And so, like, and I see some older guys that used to play nodding their heads, it's like, man, it's almost like a culture shock. You're like, wait, people aren't like that anymore? And I can't communicate the way I want to communicate, like, anymore. I got to, like, soften the direct community, the way we used to. Yeah. But that's the biggest adjustment for me is, like, don't expect things to be like it was when you played football. And that's just a reality. I remember when I got out of football, Al Groh told me, who's still a very important person to me, he was like, man, don't try to replace football. You're never going to be able to replace football. You try to find something that brings the same thing out in you. It's not going to feel the same. So don't chase that same thing, because it's not. Now, if you're coaching or something, you might get little bits and pieces of what it was like, Tony, to be a player and that sort of thing. But so number one, adjust your expectations, not on yourself, but on the things around you. Like, things are going to be different. And number two, like, do what you want to do. I think, like, a lot of this is, like, we're going to tell you, like, what the rules are, like, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I'm a stubborn person, and I do things my way. That's just the way I am. And I've also been lucky enough that my career in the NFL gave me a lot of open doors and avenues that I wouldn't have had if I didn't. But I just think, like, when it comes to what you choose to do, like, choose something that makes you happy. If you're going to make 120% more money, and you got kids to feed, and you got to look and see what's behind door number 2, then go do that. But if it's 100% of the money compared to 120%, and you love it more, like, to me, that's what it is. Because we're going to talk about mental health up here. Your job ain't worth the money you're going to make from it if it wrecks your life. It's just not. I promise you. Because eventually, it ain't about what you do for a living. It's the little kids running around at home, or your wife, or your friends, or your teammates. Still, that's the most important thing. So we can talk about how to do business, but put yourself first a little bit. And I don't mean be selfish, but, like, what do you want to do? What makes you happy? You're never going to run through the tunnel to your cubicle. It's not going to be the same feeling. But, like, pick a job that makes you, in the morning, wake up and say, I'm driven to do this job. Like that same kind of deal you had when you were a player.